This is the first Sunday after Christmas. I wanted to start it with one word. Stop! Stop what, you might say? Stop cleaning up the wrapping paper. Stop undecorating the tree and dragging it to the curb. Despite what you might think, Christmas has not just ended. It has just begun. It is the beginning of the 12 days of Christmas, which starts today. It did not end yesterday. In Europe, these 12 days are respected. In the United States, for the most part, they are either ignored or not even known about. We rush through Advent season in so many ways. As an example, I went to a monthly clergy meeting several weeks ago, and there was, as could be expected, a crash outside the church. And it's more common than not, the Christ child was already in it. I only half-jokingly asked the pastor, who's a personal friend, if this Jesus had been born early, and asked him if it'd be all right to cover the crush until Christmas Eve. Yes, even clergy are caught up in the early birth of Jesus. This also includes the visit of the wise men from the east. According to the gospel, they arrived weeks after Jesus was born. In my home, when the children were little, we always had the Christ child, and the Magi started their journey from the far back bedroom, and the children delighted and moved them a bit closer to Bethlehem every day. And the tree, we would go only a day or two before Christmas to select our tree, bringing it home to decorate it. The only downside was that since we did not take it down until after the 12th night, the street department was no longer picking up Christmas trees that had been tossed to the curb right after Christmas. It reminds me of a short story I had read many years ago. I couldn't find it, but it was about a holiday dinner where all the food had been compressed into small tablets for fast and easy consumption. The only problem was that the toddler reached out and swallowed it all. And you guessed it, it exploded. So along that line, I searched the internet and found something similar. Dinner in a can. It's actually called Tinner in a can. Chew on that for a while. I'm not sure if there's cranberry sauce in there, although it still doesn't look very inviting. Part of the joy of Christmas is the food preparation. I haven't seen Cheryl literally for weeks. She's been in the kitchen cooking stuff. Old family recipes perhaps being dusted off, last-minute rushes to the store for some forgotten ingredient. If you're like most of us, we like to hang out around the table, going in for seconds and thirds. None of us would like to sit down, swallow a pill with water, or just have a few warmed-up scoops from the Christmas dinner. So why do we do this with Christmas? We start the preparations right around Halloween, if not even before. Still participate in Black Friday sales the day after Thanksgiving, for those of us who are even able to walk a day after overstuffing ourselves. But if I actually have you wondering why or how to do it differently, let us go to today's Gospel of Luke. This is Luke 2, verses 41 to 52. Now every year his parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. But when he was 12 years old, they went up as usual for the festival. When the festival was ended and they started to return, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but his parents did not know it. Assuming that he was in the group of travelers, they went a day's journey. Then they started to look for him among their friends and relatives. When they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem to search for him. Not surprisingly, after 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished, and his mother said to him, "Child, why have you treated us like this? Look, your father and I have been searching for you in great anxiety." He said to them, "Why were you searching for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" But they did not understand what he said to them. Then he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was obedient to them. His mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus increased in wisdom and years and height and in divine and human favor. So here we see this young boy, Jesus, sitting in the temple asking questions of the learned Pharisees. And after his frantic parents found him, he returned obediently to the ancestral home in Nazareth. The last line reads, "And Jesus increased in wisdom and in years and in divine and human favor." The same is echoed in the Hebrew Scriptures, which gives us a snapshot of a young boy, Samuel, whose mother visited him once a year after she surrendered him to the priests and to be raised among them. This too ends with 1 Samuel 2, 18 to 20 and 26. Samuel was ministering before the Lord, just a boy wearing a linen ephod. His mother used to make for him a little robe and take it to him each year when she went up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. Then Eli would bless Elkanah and his wife and say, "May the Lord repay you with children by this woman for the gift that she has made to the Lord, her own firstborn son." And then they would return to their home. Now the boy Samuel continued to grow both in stature and in favor with the Lord and with the people. Both Samuel, who became the one the Lord selected to choose the first king of Israel, and Jesus, still a baby and prepubescent boy, were growing and learning many years before their roles were laid out in the story of God coming among us. Can you hear my cat agreeing? So if I caught your attention at all, you want to dip your toes into ways to extend Christmas. I have a few ideas. First, what about all of those nonprofits that you said you were going to contribute to? They deserve a second look and even a small check. Cheryl and I take time away every morning to read the gospel passage for the day and talk a bit about what it means to us. It's easy to go online to find a lectionary, then it will have passages for each day of the year. Right now it is all focused on the birth and early life of Jesus. Even when she's gone, I read it and it primes my pump for the day. Then I thought of continuing giving. I have literally hundreds and hundreds of books I will never read again, and as hard as it has been, I have been culling them. Last week I took 4 heavy boxes of my favorite detective novels to the library. I also thought of visiting our pantry and seeing what we might have a lot of and will possibly never use and take some to the food bank. We shouldn't just feed hungry people on the holidays. They're hungry every day. Food banks cannot buy non-food items for stocking, but they might very well need personal hygiene items such as toothbrushes and toothpaste. In the past, I would take in a dog and cat food because many of the people who need these services have pets and they have trouble feeding them. Then clothing in good condition. Are you really going to lose 2 or 3 sizes over the next year? Oh, come on. Do you really need all of those coats? There are others who might very well need them more right now. And for the home, how about 2 or 3 movie nights where the movies reflect the Christmas spirit, such as Elf and White Christmas, A Christmas Story, which we watched a couple nights ago, Miracle on 34th Street, The Santa Claus, The Muppet Christmas Carol, or Annie. Or maybe watch The Sound of Music again, or the newer Billy Elliot musical, which I highly recommend. As soon as I finish the homily, I plan to search out movies on YouTube and Prime Video and make a list. What about making up a batch of Christmas cookies, decorating them, and taking a box to your next door neighbor? Mine are waiting over there for me to still do that. We have had strained relations with our neighbor for years, so I think I'll ask Cheryl to make this possible, and she's already done that. I just have to walk across the yard, which seems very far sometimes. If you have board games or cards gathering dust in a closet, bring them out and play them. And one last one, which we did when my kids were young. There were always new Christmas jigsaw puzzles that we put out on the dining room and worked on daily. I cannot lie, we never finished it, but it was fun anyway. And lastly, on the Feast of Epiphany, if you have a family, make a king cake to share with the family. And when mixing the batter, put in an inexpensive ring. And the one who gets the piece in it, after they chomp hard, gets to be king or queen for a day, complete with homemade crown. And then on the day after Epiphany, you can put away all the baubles on the Christmas tree and drag it out to the thing. Be the last. And now as you find pen and paper to make out your own list, we will end with the 12 days of Christmas to give you inspiration.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?